In honor of it being May the 4th today, and this year being the 40th anniversary, I've decided to make a list of my top 15 moments in all of Star Wars. And when I say all of Star Wars, I mean just the canon sources. I'm sorry, EU fans. And those moments can and will come from any of those sources, including the movies, the animated shows, books, comics, and so on. And I really am going to try and include something from every one of those sources. And as soon as this video is done and posted, I'm sure I'll realize I've forgotten some scene that deserves to be on this list, so please feel free in the comments below to tell me what you think I've missed. And without further ado, let's get right to it. Number 15, from A New Hope, the Star Destroyer flyover. Now, it's the moment that literally brought Star Wars into the lives of an entire generation and changed movies forever, all in just one scene. It really deserves to be higher on this list, but there are just so many great moments to get to. Number 14, from the Darth Vader comic book, Vader learns that Luke is his son. I know that not everyone reads the new Marvel comic books, and to be honest, a lot of them have been less than great, but there has been at least one great moment in there, and that's when Boba Fett, who Vader hired to learn the identity of the pilot who blew up the Death Star, tells Vader that that pilot's name was Skywalker, and Vader realizes that Palpatine lied to him, and then you can literally feel Vader's anger coming right off the page. Number 13, from Return of the Jedi, Luke enters Jabba's palace. Now, this probably won't make a lot of people's lists, and I'm probably showing my bias for Luke here, but I love the way he calmly and confidently walks into Jabba's palace and lets us know that that whiny kid from A New Hope is officially gone, and he is now a Jedi, or close to a Jedi. Then he chokes out some Gamorrean guards, mind tricks Bib Fortuna, and demands that Jabba let his friends go free, and when Jabba refuses, he takes out his Rancor. Number 12, from Attack of the Clones, the death of Shmi Skywalker. Now, I know Hayden Christensen had a lot of awkward lines to say in the prequels, and he did the best he could, but, and I don't mean this to sound as bad as it will, I thought Hayden was at his best when he had nothing to say at all. Though I thought the dialogue was fine in the scene where his mother dies, the look he gives right before he goes and slaughters a bunch of Tusken Raiders is absolutely perfect. Number 11, from the Clone Wars animated series, Ahsoka walks away from the Jedi Order. Now, like a lot of people, when I saw the Clone Wars movie in the theater for the first time, I hated the character of Ahsoka Tano, and for the life of me I couldn't understand or even accept that Anakin had a Padawan during this time. And then 5 seasons of the show later, she walked away and I was left wondering how both Anakin and I were going to get by without her around anymore. Number 10, from The Force Awakens, Chewie, we're home. It's kind of funny, but by the time I saw this scene in the actual movie, it had lost almost all impact on me. But the first time I saw it in the trailer, I literally wanted to cheer. This is my only entry on the list from The Force Awakens, but I also considered Han and Leia reuniting, or just seeing Luke for the first time again on screen for the first time in 30 some years. Number 9, from Return of the Jedi, the death of Yoda. Now, I've watched this scene probably around 100 times in my life, and that's really not even much of an exaggeration. And it still gets me to watch the old Jedi Master fade away and become one with the Force. Luke also has it confirmed that Vader is his father in this scene, and must go face him again to fully become a Jedi. He also learns that there is another Skywalker, and puts it together in the next scene that it's Leia. Number 8, from the Rebels animated series, the death of Darth Maul. Now, despite not initially liking it, and wanting it to be at least a little bit longer, I have very much grown to appreciate how this whole thing played out, and that Kenobi, fearing for Luke if he failed, had to end Maul and end him quickly. But the best part of this whole scene, for me at least, is the compassion Obi-Wan shows for Maul as he's dying. It is right here that we learn that Obi-Wan has become the very epitome of a Jedi. Number 7, from Revenge of the Sith, Vader's first breath. Although not everyone likes what came shortly thereafter where Vader screams out no, it doesn't take away from Vader being put into the suit for the first time and getting to hear that very first mechanical breath, and watching the most iconic movie villain in history truly be born. Number 6, from The Phantom Menace, Duel of the Fates begins. It doesn't matter how many times I see that scene where the hangar bay door opens and Darth Maul is standing there, and yes, I still very much watch The Phantom Menace from time to time, I still get a chill. If you've ever wondered just how important John Williams' score is to these movies, try to imagine that whole fight with any other music in the world besides Duel of the Fates. Number 5, from A New Hope, Binary Sunset. And speaking of just how important music is to Star Wars, this moment of Luke staring off into the distance as the Force theme plays and he contemplates his destiny, or maybe just his place in the galaxy, could easily be number 1 on this list. For me, this scene is Star Wars. Number 4, from The Empire Strikes Back, I Love You, I Know. If someone asked me to pick one scene that defines Han Solo's character, I would pick this one. And his response to Leia is not only one of the greatest lines in all of Star Wars, but in all of cinema history. And maybe the best part about it is that Harrison Ford changed the line, not believing that Han would say, "I love you too," which is what the script originally called for. Number 3, from Rogue One, Vader in the hallway. Now, the first time I saw this scene, and probably the second, third, and fourth, I just couldn't stop myself from smiling. We never really needed to see Vader do this to understand what he was capable of, but having seen it was just amazing. I felt like a kid again watching it. And though I highly enjoyed Rogue One, this one scene stole the whole show for me. Number 2, from The Empire Strikes Back, Vader tells Luke the truth about his father. Now, do I really need to explain why this made the list? Probably not. But if anything, I need to explain why it's not number 1. And speaking of number 1, from Return of the Jedi, Luke brings Vader back to the light. Yes, this is my number 1 moment in all of Star Wars, even though it really is the whole final encounter that I appreciate. Because as we've learned more about all the characters in this scene, mainly from the prequels, it just keeps adding to the depth of the scene, and how many years of manipulation done to Anakin by Palpatine that Luke had to undo. However, my favorite part is actually when Luke stops himself from killing Vader, and he tosses his saber away and tells the Emperor that he's failed, and that he'll never turn to the dark side, and that he's a Jedi like his father before him. This is why Luke Skywalker always has been and always will be my favorite character, and why he is the greatest hero in all of Star Wars. Well, that's all I got for you this time. Now it's your turn to let me know what I've missed, and whether or not you agree or disagree with my list. So leave a comment below and let's talk some Star Wars and celebrate 40 years of this amazing saga. Also, if you like this video, please check out some of our other ones or subscribe to my channel. If you've already done all that, then thanks for your continued support. If you want to know when I upload new videos, hit the notification button or just follow me on Twitter. And as always, thanks for watching and may the Force be with you.